Well, welcome to today's episode of Progress Not Perfection. My name is Dan Wilcox, and I will be our guide through this painting. It is December the 8th, 2025, as I am painting this for you and recording this live and in person in Ocala, Florida today. I've got a 12 by 24 canvas, painted it with a black acrylic gesso, let that dry all the way. Put a liquid clear on it, and then over most of it, really only not this kind of section in here, pretty much, there's a mix of a brown and a crimson color. So inspiration from this, much credit given to Dana Jester, and a good friend of mine here locally in Ocala. The first time she saw one of these paintings that I did a few years ago, she said, "Man, that looks like being let out of the woods." And so that's what this painting series has been called ever since. So this will just be the most recent, I guess we'll call this one the December 8th version of Let Out of the Woods. So here we go. Let's dive in. Let's see what happens. Yeah, let's just do this away. A little bit of white. A little bit of yellow ochre and white that I had mixed up before. Just going to start real light in the middle. What I'm going to do is a way I have not done this before in just how this is going to look. So I'm kind of excited just to kind of see what happens here. Kind of thought about this one for a long time in my head, but just never tried it this way. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if we like it. If we don't, we'll change it as we go. I may tell you, I may not. We'll see what happens. But you know, sometimes anniversary dates are important historically for many reasons or another. Oh gosh, you know, I guess in any season of life, that's no different, depending on what's important to me, to you, or any of the rest of us. But it was December the 8th, 2018, that I had my last drink of alcohol. Now, if you've watched many of my videos, you'll certainly know that alcohol was a problem for me. So that's much relief that that's been taken out of my life. But that being, kind of lost my point. What was I going to say? That ever happened to you? I'd like to call those senior moments, but I don't think I'm officially a senior, am I? I'm 51. I don't know. Anyway, 7 years free of alcohol. I used to get all twisted up with what my sobriety date was. Food's an ongoing. Started back today, literally this morning, exercising again, food prep, eating right again. I went completely off the rails on the online coaching program I was a student of, doing so well on. Just got a little bit off track, and then poof. It was like I had just all of a sudden stopped all of it. And it's just, man, I got so frustrated, but given myself some grace. I've peeled back a few layers on the onion of asking why. Well, why did I feel this way? Why do I use food to try to make myself feel better for one thing or another? Anyway, and I've had my own struggles with medical marijuana. You know, I struggle using things as prescribed or even medicinally when they're good for us. So I do have some struggles there. So used to get all twisted up by what my last state of alcohol. Well, let's deal with one problem at a time. Often problems overlap and symptoms overlap, but man, I was talking with a friend, a mentor through the recovery program I'm active in. And I was telling him I don't know what to count as my sobriety date. He waves his hands like, oh, just be quiet, Dan. You're overcomplicating yet something else. And he goes, do you know what day you had your last drink? And I was like, yeah, December 8th, 2018. I can tell you where I was standing. I remember it. Laura and I were texting while I was doing it. And he goes, well, what date was that? And he goes, well, there you go. That's your sobriety date. Just you're you're dealing with alcohol in this particular group. That's the date. Go on. So liberating, so freeing. So appreciate a conversation of wisdom like that. Oh man. So what's happening in your world? Have you tried anything new? Put your toe in the water or something, I hope. Maybe. I'm not saying it's got to be painting. Could be. Could be by all means. It was accidental discovery for me, as you may know. I kind of wish the dark color were a little further in here, so I may be changing this on us as this kind of develops here. We'll see. I don't know if it's just the change in weather. It's been real rainy here in Ocala these last couple of days, but I don't have any cold or not feel good symptoms currently, thankfully. But man, I'm just cotton mouth and very thirsty all the time. I drink a lot of water though, so I mean I am not dehydrated. I don't drink soda. Heck, I don't even drink caffeinated coffee very often anymore. Now, where did I put the dark over here? Did I forget to put it over there? crazy, crazy things have happened. That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, we'll just keep going. That's fine. That's fine. Get a little darker there. We'll see. We'll find it. We'll find it. Just fun to have the colors change and soften and dance and play together. At least I think so. Oh, that's kind of it, I think. Do, 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 do. Do anything fun for football, college football? Finishing up the regular season, conference championships, and here come the playoffs already. Let's give this a little bit of a blend and see what we're thinking. Give it a little step back here in a second. Just kind of soften this down a bit. Do keep an eye on the comments because we're building links that'll take you over to different classes, different video sequences over in the school curriculum that's getting built and up to the site and ready for consumption and access anyway. But man, those improvements are going to be stepping along and happening pretty quickly. So that's pretty cool, pretty exciting. If you're shopping holiday wise and have made a purchase from the website, thank you very much. I think you may have heard on a previous video that as a certified Ross instructor selling Bob Ross products, I am allowed to earn revenue from that. And so that is an appreciated thing that helps us cover expenses and cover the technology stuff that needs to stay current and get improved and all that sort of stuff. So as you're shopping, we appreciate you choosing to get it from us. Sometimes our price is a little lower than the main retail site. Sometimes most of the time spot on the same, because that's by far the simplest way to do it. I only offer for sale on the website stuff that I used. I don't do the different mediums that I'm not a certified instructor of. So I may start doing that. That's a good question. Do you want me to start offering that stuff? I don't know. Something felt weird early on when I was going over that with Aiden, who was helping build the website originally. It just, maybe I'm just overthinking it. That certainly could be the case. I tend to do that. So if you drop a comment in there, what do you think? Am I overthinking that? I guess I don't have to have used it to sell it, do I? If I'm claiming to know how to use it or to teach you how to use it, well, then of course I will have used it. That's part of passing the smell test, in my opinion. All right, well, that's okay. I don't mind it being so bright in the middle now. Let me step back for a second, kind of take a look. These black canvases are great. I love painting on a black canvas like this. My only concern is whether the bright lights of the studio cause too much of a glare. I'm going to try to remedy my cotton mouth with a little ice water. I know cold water doesn't really help with that, but here's my logo sticker. Isn't that fun? I think I showed that on another video. Right when they arrived. I love my little sticker. Well, let's keep going on that. We're going to keep building that out and drop some stuff in there, and we'll keep right on grooving. So completed one of 4 local classes for December, and think we may have just 1 or 2 open seats left. I know I was CC'd on a few emails between a couple of students that unexpectedly, for family reasons and such, had to travel back home, wherever back home was, and they were working out getting their class date swapped to something else. But of course, life happens to us all occasionally. But I think the end result was we may wound up having an unexpected open seat. So they're reaching out to the folks who are on the wait list. The wait list is so helpful. All right. Well, you know, painting. The first class I taught for December was on a black canvas like this. And in some places, I put way too much of the color painting. It was a different painting. It was Northern Lights that we were doing. But I was real heavy handed with the transparent undercolor. And I didn't say it out loud in class, but I did not like that part of where I just had to kind of cover it up and fix it unexpectedly. And that's just one of those kind of things. And I think I was so worried about doing that again. I was so light handed. I haven't put any color on here yet. There's barely any uh, color showing up here. So just kind of spinning the idea of a few cloud shapies peeking through back here. Just keep it wiggling. Let's see what we're getting. See what we're getting. Sorry if my shoulder's getting in the way or the back of my perfectly shaped noggin. Not my intention. Still getting used to the new setup here with this easel. I'm digging it. I'm okay with this. With the rapid succession of some classes here at the end of the year, it would just be quite a hassle moving the easel I take to and from class here all the way inside to the inner sanctum studio here. Ooh, you want to do some flashes of light zipping through there? I kind of dig that. Let's kind of put in a few more of those. That felt good. So I'm going to change the color a little bit. Not much paint, not much paint. Doesn't take a lot, as you could see there. But it's going to have our little twisty up kind of clouds right up here too. Huh? It kind of flips upside down almost and is curly cueing off our canvas just right on up to the heavens like that. How about that? Well, the hardest part for me about doing these videos is not having music on. I like to paint with music. you don't want me to be singing to you, that you would ask me to stop or you'd quickly change channels. All right. Yeah. Yeah, we'll keep a little light playing down through here in just a minute. And put a little of this over on this side and keep on cruising. And those are fun to do. These are fun to do. To me, they turn out so well. And they look like they're so hard, but they're not. I think that's why I like them. So who are the people you got in your life right now, huh? Hey, we're all going through stuff. You probably know some of my challenges. Had the great fortune of having a lot of great people around me, and had one of those kind of conversations yesterday with a new person that's been brought to my circle this year. It was absolutely transformational in my noodle. I mean, it was just incredible. Just incredible. All right, so what are we doing now, Dan? Make your decision. Let's just be ready for some trees on both sides. Almost slung that brush right into the paint. Yeah, that's what we'll do. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. So we'll just have some couple of things like this and a couple of getting to this left side again. I'm probably blocking the whole thing. Can't really tell. Just if you can't see, sorry, I'm just softening out, blending out this lighter color I put on there. Just softening it off to nothing almost. Yeah, it'll work just fine. I'm not going to do the zinging light rays, not yet anyway. I don't know that this one's going to call for it in my way I see it. I just want it to stay softer than that. I think if I do that, it makes it a little too sharp sometimes. We'll see. We'll see. So let's get right to starting to put in some bushy things and such up there. Yeah, I really had a different kind of picture in here in my head. So we're going to just kind of shift real gently what we're doing. And that's fine. Totally fine. Totally fine. So you just sort of work with whatever the canvas gives you, you know, have an idea in your head, but get all set on it like that's it. That's just not the case. So I'm just going to make a few flavors of color here. Oh, and let's just say, where do we want, maybe somewhere out here. Yeah, a little something like that working, that's okay. Let's just get a separate brush going. Yeah. Get to tapping those in, and that feels really good, and you get a little carried away. At least I do. All the way here, 3/4 of the way to the front of the canvas. That's not how fast I wanted to get up here. That's okay. We'll pump the brakes there a little bit. We'll slow that roll down just a wee bit. Huh? We can always stop and add a tree. We've always got time for adding a tree. You bet we do. I'll show you what I mean. Weekend. How shall we? You want to do a tree? You want to do it with the round brush? We'll do the round brush. Let's do the big side. Do the big round brush. Yeah. Put some dark in the round brush. And let's kind of have I'll show you, a tree that's kind of hanging into our picture like this. We're way closer to its trunk. Trunk. We don't want this to be our main one yet, so let's not go too crazy there just yet. I'm gonna lighten this tree trunk color up just a bit. And we'll just put in not that light. It's not getting that much light on it. That's fine. We may wind up covering most of that, if not all of it, anywho. So that's fine. And let's take ourselves a tiny little bit of our yellow and white highlight color, kind of goldy for the sun out there, and we'll just sort of in a few areas of this big old beautiful tree that has joined our happy family here in the forest. These magnificent highlights on it. How about that? I see how fast I can change a painting, though. Amazing. Just one tree. One little beautiful tree. I wonder if you can see that way over there on the right-hand side in the camera. I can't see that part too well. The way the camera's set up, so that's me, not you. All right, let me have a quick thought break. Where are we going to go next, Dano? I tell you what, let's put a couple trees over here. I kind of want to do something a little different, and sort of just want to darken this in and kind of push that back a ways. And I'll see if we like how we get there. So I'm use that same big old round brush. Oh, and let's just kind of change our foliage layer here to something kind of comes down this way instead of what we had before. It's okay if we cover up a bunch of that light. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, see how we wound up covering up a bunch of that light anyhow? That's sort of just what happens. That's okay. That is okay. Man, I love it when the little dark part really kind of gives what I was hoping it would give in my head. I like that. I like it when that happens. Okay. I don't like this white part in the middle right there. I wanted it to look more path-like. So I'm going to change that and just grab some paint and just kind of play with it, kind of clean up the edges of some of that. Just see if what this changes it to is a acceptable change. So stand by for more. There we go. Now we got a little something going. Bring in a little bit of something here at the edge of the path. Just sets it back down in there. Kind of breaks up that edge I just scrubbed in. I may put some highlights back on some of these. That's fine. We may not. I just go with a little highlight there in the middle of the path. It says that that's kind of in the light, you know. Let's see if we like that. We can do that right now. An easy way to do that is decide which direction you want your kind of light to feel like it's going. So this sort of feels like it's going mostly that way, but some obviously overspill light that way. So you could kind of pull yourself in a little glob. People don't like cheat secrets. Just kind of hit it back and forth, blend out that top part there, but bump it back and forth. And let it get a little wider as it gets closer to you if you want. Gentle hand, you can go back over it again. Don't push too hard. We'll do something different here, so I'm going to cover that up. But that just gives us a little direction with what our light's doing. Yeah, okay, that's all right. And let's, what was I going to do? Oh, we were going to keep going with some dark, put in a couple of bigger trees. Well, I don't want to cover that one up. Maybe we'll put in a evergreen or birch tree or something on kind of close to us so we can leave that open. That works for me. We've got some things to highlight there. Let's give ourselves a little bit more into that one tree there if we're doing that. Just a little more dark layer of this one closer to us. Now that darker layer just gives it a great big old shove off to the distance. Just pushes it right back there for us. It's so kind of it, isn't it? Yes, it's wonderful. I thought you might say so. I thought you might. Just kind of a concoction of the colors, the few colors we have on our palette. I just want it to be noticeably different than that one we did the first layer there. As the light gets further into our woods here, it's not going to illuminate these leaf clusters the same strength, of course. We're just touching them one at a time. That's the way the Creator builds them, so it's really not up to us to go in there and just be crashing away willy-nilly. That's not really what we want to be doing, is it? Not how they're built. Let's not do it that way. All right, so let's, what kind of little highlight shall we do there? We've got this round brush working so handily and lovely for us. What if we put a little, maybe they're a little pinker flavor, a little more crimsony, peachy, I don't know, down here on the ground? I don't know, let's see what we got. Let's see what we get. No dark. I'm trying to avoid dark in this. So it's brighter and more of a cool, flowery kind of kiss of the sun on it. Pull of the eye. Well, that's kind of pretty. I don't know if that's going to take over. Blue is my favorite color, but I don't mind that. We're freshening it up just a bit. Fresh, 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 fresh. One little cluster of flowers, weeds, foliage, whatever it might be. One little cluster at a time. One at a time deserves our attention. And just their moment in the sun. That's all they're looking for. With a little dark in the middle. Little friends need to get down the path as well. Yeah, let's put in a tree there. I like that idea. I don't think I want it to be a birch. I want it to be stronger than bigger, stronger tree. So let's, we're going to make a dark brown, just a whisper of white. It's not just straight brown. We're going to have a big old tree here that lives right here. Somebody probably went, "Ah, Dan, you just ruined it." Well, maybe. Can you paint yours? If there's not a big old crazy tree up front like that, don't put one. we won't use the fan brush for any more branches. We'll do that with the script liner. I'm going to put a few more branches on this one. Not going to do a lot though. This one might be dead. This tree, I mean. And for me, that would be darker on this side of the tree, so we can always add just a little pull of some color. Darken up part of this side. Don't have to do that. Like little details like that. Subtle, simple little things, but boy, people just look at your painting like, what in the world? How did you do that? Just a little detail like that. Get all bound up about it, I've found. I know what a tree looks like. Just got to get my head out of the way and paint it. All right, so we'll clean up around his foots and such. We put a few branches on it. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm good with that. Put some dark on there, and we'll put some highlight as well. Not too much on this one though, okay? Just a little bit. Yeah, see how that changes the feel of that? Just like that. It's amazing, isn't it? You can do it. You can do it. Now we're going to highlight this in my head just much differently. It's just going to be kind of a color. It's not really even certainly don't want it to be bright, you know. It could have some gold to it, I guess. Little yellow ochre, but mostly brown and little crimson. Let's just see what we got. Just want us to know that the light's shining past it. You know, it's not going to get crazy lit up on this side of it where we're seeing this fella. Maybe a gal, I don't know. Maybe a little zipping through right there. Under here just a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Knock that brightness down just a whisper. Let me step back real quick. Yeah, okay. We'll bring in some stuff here at the base here in a minute. Base. Sorry, that was out loud, wasn't it? All right, let's get some stuff to highlight on this other side. I don't really have anything up here at the top, so let's kind of have a tree friend like this one over here. So we just need some branchy things to highlight over here. Make them look all leafy and make them look all foresty. See, that's the magic of doing that black gesso first. Fills in so much of this area. We just need to fill in a little more dark, kind of clean up any edges of what we want to do, and then we just do that. Let's bring in a little highlight on our ground and be working right on towards the front of the glass. All right. Whew. Like this has been going on for a while. Let's check the old viewfinder. 50 minutes, wow. It's a little bigger canvas that we've been working on lately, but not crazy. Oh, let's see. Maybe some of these are pulling in the brighter part of the sunshine over here. It's kind of skipping there. Well, this one would probably get a little because it's so tall. That I'm fine with. You okay with that as well? Just kind of lighten that whole side up a little bit. We'll really darken the next layer and capture ourselves over here. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. Yes, indeed. Let's put in a few. Up little twiggies, little sticks. May darken that up a whisper. Man, this one's got me a little jumpy. I don't know if it's because I haven't done trying to do that sky before, but I haven't gone over things twice like this. Ever, I don't think. I don't care for that. I like to just let happen whatever happens. That's a better spot for me to be in. Let's kind of clean this up again. That feels a little better to me there. Oh, I like that idea. Maybe this will make it look a little stony here and there. A little more light this way. Yeah, probably need a little light on the side of that tree. Not a lot, but it needs a little. So a little more tree feeling to me. Nobody wants a tree that doesn't feel up to their treeness. They are prima donnas. Good golly, Miss Molly. All right. Let's add a big old tree. Oh, yeah. Who's got a big old tree? Big old tree. Where do we put those dark limbs? Right in about there? Well, let's have a big part of the tree right there then. We'll have some of it come down this way as well. We don't have to see it all. Not even close. You ain't never seen all any tree anyway, most likely. Yeah, we'll just go for a pretty highlighty thing related to what we've been doing, but just a little different. Just change the flavor a little. You may have heard me say that. You may be saying, good God, man, could you say something else? You don't mean that. I know you don't. Or you might. See, just put a little something across this side of that tree trunk and it just totally transforms that whole section, doesn't it? Change the pressure in your hand a little bit. All that distance we covered one load of the brush. Isn't that cool? All right, let's put another big old tree. Oh, yeah. Who wants a big old tree? Big old tree. Oh, we'll have this one come all the way to the front. That can be our main character over here. That's fine. Totally fine. We'll let that one land right down in our highlights we just did. We'll gobble up some of them, but that's okay. Reset the edge of that dirt a little bit. Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking, wasn't it? Some rocks. Need some rocks. Oh, let's do some black, black, black up there. We'll get some real dark. Got a good amount of dark there already. Let's not kill all of this. Some of it, sure, but not all of that. We want it to have a big old representation back there over the corner of that tree, don't we? I do. I think we should. And we'll plant that tree right here in the front for us. Just like that. Tree planted. Did you see it? Happens quick. You got to be ready. Got to be ready. Opportunity. Wow. Happens fast, right? What to do with the light brush? There it is. Grab a little of that. All right, you can have a little lightening there. We'll come back and tame this down a little bit in a minute. Same for this one. Okay. All right. Little darker, 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 little darker. Even though you're still getting a pretty good amount of highlight, not too much. Oh, let's see. Let's really just put a little darker whisper of that color on there, huh? Still a little highlight kiss, but nothing that is gonna change your life. Be that memorable. All right, let's clean up this other side on the right. Yeah, we'll call this one done here in a few minutes. All right, let's get this kind of bookended in and wrap this one up. This was great practice. I enjoyed this one a lot. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Let's kind of have this be our furthest away out there, and we'll close this baby in. Still being able to see that stuff, but we're definitely this side of it. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Few little tame highlights over here. We will have wrapped this baby up. Okay. A little too bright there, huh? That's better. A little crazy with the light highlight there. This would be way darker in my opinion, so let's tame this way down. Yeah. Make this way more mysterious feeling. That's way better. At least it is to me. There we go. Let's sign this bad boy, I think. Call it done. Boy, I like these black canvases. They are fun to do. Let's do that. Sign this thing. So clean the script liner brush. Some paint thinner. Oh, crimson, I suppose, will be the color. Maybe we'll put a little white on it, make a crazy pink. How about that? We'll see if we can see it. Doesn't really matter to me. All right. We are close to having paintings for sale on the school site, so be sure to check the notes, comment section for the details down below in the description. So you can get over there and register for school and keep an eye for that. So this will be dated today, December the 8th, 2025. We'll call this one, let's just call it Let Out of the Woods, since that's what this collection is called. Oop, I forgot to do rocks. I was going to do rocks. Oh well. All right. I love you. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Remember, subscribe, like, comment, share. If you're shopping for painting supplies, purchase them at the website. Link is in the description, danwilcoxart.com, 2 L's in Wilcox. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks.